Hello friends. So you've worked very hard in your college and you've landed a great job. And after working several hours, you've managed to save some money, precisely maybe 1 lakh rupees. And now you want to invest that money and you want to invest that money so that you can grow your money and without taking a lot of risk, because this is your first time you're investing. So we'll talk about in this video how you actually invest money and grow money. So the thumb rule number 1 is money makes money. Now various economists in this world have said that why do you want to work hard when money is ready to work for you hard? So that means if you can sit back and relax and think about how do you invest money, and money would actually work for you. So let's talk about some of the options. How do you actually invest in the various options available so that you can do that safely at the click of your button, but at the same time you have to be very wise and selective because there are tons of options available in the market and not everything is safe and not everything is legitimate. So let's talk about some of the legitimate options available in India. So option number 1, bank saving accounts. So there are numerous offers and advertisements about the various bank saving accounts in India. These range from fixed deposits to recurring deposits to the various schemes the banks launch that ask you to invest your money for a tenure of 5 years or tenure of 3 years, 10 years. So, and depending on the investment amount you make, whether it's quarterly or monthly, these give you returns and that's your profit. So these are some of the bank saving accounts, and all of the popular bank accounts, banks in India have these bank saving facility or schemes. So you can choose from any one of these. So this is your first option and a very safe option if you do it from a recognized national bank. Option number 2 is the mutual fund market. Now the mutual fund market is a huge market in India, and with a series of ups and downs, as you know that the mutual fund market is related very closely to the share market, and with the ups and downs in the market, the mutual fund market has majorly seen ups but slight downs as well. So mutual funds is your second bet. But how do you invest in a mutual fund? Does all kind of mutual fund suit your needs? And what are the options you have? Do you always have to invest a lump sum at the first go? No, there is an option of systematic investment plan. Now the systematic investment plan allows you to invest a fixed amount on a monthly basis in a particular fund. Now this gives you with the flexibility that you do not have to, if you do not have, invest a big chunk of money at the beginning, and you can use your monthly pool of savings to invest wisely in the mutual fund SIP so that you gain a lot of benefit maybe 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line. Now a brief note on types of mutual fund. So not all mutual funds are typically suited for an investor who is beginning. For example, right now you may not be willing to take a big risk. So there are mutual funds that actually invest in stocks, and these are called equity funds. Now these are very high risk funds, and the thumb rule of mutual fund is that the higher the risk, the more the gain, and lower the risk, the lesser the gain, as in all cases. So there are mutual funds that invest in government securities, which are a safer option that offers a slightly lower interest rate but gives you more safer destination for your money. Now at the same time, there is an equity fund that invests purely in stocks and shares, and this leaves you with an option of higher risk but with an option of higher gain as well. Now there is a third category called balance fund. Now here the fund managers actually balance out their funds allocation into a specific percentage of shares and stocks and a specific percentage of low risk schemes like government bonds, securities, etc. Now this mixture, what it does, it gives you the flexibility of higher returns of the equity fund, but at the same time it gives you the stability of a government fund. So a large number of people actually choose these balance funds, and there are a lot of big players in these balance funds, or in fact almost all of the funds actually have the pool of a balanced or a mixed fund. You can find them at the various fund websites. Now let's talk about the third option that you have. The third option that you actually have that I was talking about is government securities and bonds. Now government securities and bonds have time and again proven themselves as the best, if not the best, a very favorable destination for investors, because the income that you get from that is sure shot. Your money does not lose in 99% of the cases. So that is a very popular destination to invest in government schemes, government securities and bonds. Now let's talk about option 4 that you have. The option 4 that you have is gold. So in India, as you know, gold is a big thing. So the demand for gold is ever rising, and so as the price for gold. So if you take a gold bond, so my recommendation is not to actually take physical gold, because when you take physical gold, there are a lot of transactions involved. You have to go to a shop, there are making charges, there are tons of different charges. Then comes the additional burden of keeping it stored safe in your house or in a locker. If you're keeping it in a locker, then you have to pay extra money for that in your in the bank locker, for the bank locker. So my suggestion is to take gold bonds. If you buy a gold bond for a specific price, then that's it. You buy that bond and you're safe. Now as and when the gold prices fluctuate, it goes up and down, you get your own profits. So that's the best way to invest in gold bonds. Let's talk about option number 5 that you have. And this is the option for slightly experienced players, but I will tell you a trick. Even if you are a starter, you can start here. The option that I was talking about is share market. Now share market is such a vast topic. People actually have full-time courses to learn how to invest in share market. But there's one trick that I actually use for share market, and it actually works quite well. Now, the share market is majorly driven by the demand in the market. So the more the demand, the more the valuation of the company, and hence the stock prices rises. So the trick that I use is basically this. Pick up a brand or a company that actually has more customers. For example, if you like, what do you like? If you like eating chocolates, pick up a brand of chocolate that you see there are more people who buy that brand. Whenever you go to a shop, observe what brand of chocolates are people buying and choose that brand. Now, since there are a lot of people actually buying that chocolate, the valuation of that brand will always go up, and you will never lose money if you invest there. Similarly, let's say there is a cloth store and you go there and you always find that the clothes store is full with people. So that means there are a lot of people loving the products that the apparels that these guys are manufacturing, and hence their prices and brand valuation will always go up. And that's the best way to actually determine how to invest in shares. This is a trick that I use. You may not be 100% correct every single time, but in majority of the cases this actually works. So try that out and let me know in the comments, how does this trick work? Okay, so these are the options that I actually talked about. Now let's talk about, do you actually have to choose only one of them, or you can actually divide your 1 lakh rupees in bits and pieces in all these options and gain maximum profit. In my view, you should actually not put all your eggs in one bucket. You should actually divide everything into multiple pockets or multiple investments, so that if one of them is not successful due to some reason X, there are other backups. So that's the best investment strategy you can always make. Never put all your money in the same pocket. So for example, if you're choosing to go for mutual funds, now this is my suggestion. You can choose to take it or ignore it. You can choose 50% of the money to go for mutual funds, and in mutual funds again you can divide. Let's say you put in 20% in equity and 30% in the government bonds or the security bonds. So that way you have a mix of mutual funds as well. And then you can go for the gold ETF for, let's say, 20% of your money that you have. You can go for the gold ETF funds, and then the rest money you can invest in the bank savings account. So this way you can actually spread out your investments and then choose or gain maximum profits. So this was about how can you invest your first 1 lakh rupees. Now do let me know in comments what worked for you and what did not work for you, and just have that caution that this is your money. I can only give a suggestion, but it's ultimately your decision how you should actually invest. So please do not just take my suggestion on face value. Do your analysis, and the market situation when you're actually watching this video may be different. So invest money as per the current market situation. Thank you.